Hi guys, welcome to Delicate Flavors with Pallavi. Today's recipe originates from the western Ghats of Maharashtra, but it is loved and relished all over the country. So come with me and see my take on this very traditional recipe. Let us start making today black lentils, or popularly known as Akkha Masoor in Marathi or Sabud Masoor. Come with me. Making the black lentils or Akkha Masoor, I have taken a kadai, preheated it. There is 1 spoon of oil in it and I am adding 1 more. So once this oil is heated up, what we will do is we will add onions. These are sliced onions, 2 large onions. So in go the onions for frying. The onions have started to cook now, but we have to wait for until 6 to 7 minutes wherein they become completely brown. Until the onions are browning, I will show you my preparation, what I have done. I have taken 2 cups of black whole lentils or Akkha Masoor or Sabud Masoor, and I have pressure cooked for 3 whistles, and this is how mashy it gets. I have also added half a spoon of salt, and this will be the base of our recipe today. You see that the onions are nicely browned. At least this is the color what we are looking for. Now into this we will put 1 spoon of ginger and garlic. This is crushed ginger and garlic. You can use ginger garlic paste as well. The ginger and garlic has cooked, and now I am adding in paste of 1 whole tomato. This is raw tomato. I have just run it through the mixie. So this goes in for cooking now. Now I will allow this paste to cook for a minute or so. So I will cover it and we'll look at it after a minute. While the gravy is cooking, we'll just take a look at the spices. This is the signature spice of the recipe. This is Kanda Lasun Masala, or it is also called as garlic onion masala, easily available in the stores. This is Kashmiri red chili powder. This is just for color and taste. Turmeric, some garam masala, coriander seed powder and cumin seed powder. So these all will go into the gravy mix. It smells great, hot and spicy, and into this we will add all the lentils, the cooked lentils. Also keep in mind, I had added some salt when I was pressure cooking the lentils. So now we will add salt very carefully. The details of all the ingredients and the cooking method, please refer to the description box below. All the spices, all the herbs are nicely mixed into our curry. So at this point I will add another half a cup of water, allow it to come to a boil, and then we will cover it and simmer for about 10 minutes on very slow flame. The curry has started to come to a boil. I'll reduce the flame to the minimum and cover it for a good 10 minutes so as to have a simmering effect and blending of all the aromatic spices and the herbs. You see here that the curry is nice and simmering from the past 10 minutes. The gas is at its minimum. We will just open and check. Yes, it is looking beautiful and nice. It has developed a nice color. At the moment, I will just cover it with lid, turn off the flame and give it a standing time of a good 10 to 15 minutes before serving. The gravy has been standing from past 10 minutes. The boil has now settled down. See the color. It is so beautiful. Here at the last point I am adding some salt. Salt is to taste. Also please remember, I had added some salt when I had cooked up the masoor or the lentils in the pressure cooker. So I am adding salt and giving it a mix. It is smelling beautifully aromatic, and now we can plate this lentil curry. So our lentil curry, black lentil curry, Akkha Masoor or Sabud Masoor is ready, and we will just garnish it with a bit of coriander. It is nice, sizzling hot, smelling all the aromas of the beautiful spices that we had put in. आपण सोडे बटाट्याचा मस्त असा रस्सा करतोय. त्याच्यासाठी मी 2 चमचे तेल घेते इथे कढईमध्ये. कढई मी ऑलरेडी तापत ठेवलेली आहे. हे 3 बटाटे मी कापून घेतले, 3 मोठे बटाटे या टाइप मी कापून घेतले. जर असे मोठे आहेत ते आपल्याला हे आता तेलावर मस्त सोनेरी कलर होईपर्यंत परतवून घ्यायचे. गॅस जरा मध्यम करते मी इथे, आणि बटाटे परतवून घेते. बटाटे चांगले सोनेरी कलर आला पाहिजे, त्याला वरती असं एक कोटिंग आलं पाहिजे गोल्डन ब्राऊन कलरचं. तोपर्यंत आपल्याला चांगले परतवून घ्यायचे. बटाटे भाजेपर्यंत मी तुम्हाला सोड्यांची तयारी दाखवते. हे सोडे आहेत, जरा क्वालिटी चांगली बघून सोडे घ्यावे बाजारातनं. ह्याला मी 2 तास भिजत घातलेलं आहे आणि स्वच्छ धुवून घेतलेलं आहे. तुम्ही इथे बघू शकता की बटाट्यांना साधारण एक सोनेरी कलर यायला सुरुवात झालेली आहे. पण आता आपल्याला अजून 2 ते 3 मिनिटं बटाटे परतवायला लागणार आहेत. इथे बटाट्यांना छान सोनेरी रंग आलेला आहे. आता ह्यामध्ये आपण हे सोडे घालून परतवून घेऊया. सोडे आपण बटाट्यांबरोबर फक्त थोडेसे परतवून घ्यायचे. सोडे धुताना तुम्ही स्वच्छ सोडे धुवून घ्या. आता इथे 1 चमचा लसूण टाकते मी, बारीक चिरलेली लसूण आहे. अर्धा चमचा आलं टाकते, बारीक चिरलेलं आलं आहे. एक हलवून घेऊया म्हणजे कच्चेपणा जाईल आले लसणाला. याच्यामध्ये 1 टोमॅटोची पेस्ट टाकली आहे मी. कच्चा टोमॅटो मिक्सरमधनं फिरवलाय. ह्याला आपण जरा परतवून घेऊ 1-2 मिनिटासाठी, 1 मिनिटासाठी. आणि ह्याला आपण आता झाकण लावून 1 मिनिटासाठी ठेवूया. इथे 2 मिनिटं झालेली आहेत. आपण जरा झाकण उघडून बघूया. टोमॅटोचा कलर बघा कसा मस्त आलाय. आता याच्यामध्ये मी घालणार आहे 1 चमचा परतवलेला कांदा. आता परतवलेला कांदा तुमच्याकडे नसेल तर कांदा आधीच घालून परतवून घ्या. मला ऑफिसला जायला सकाळी घाई होते, त्यामुळे परतवलेला कांदा माझा कायम फ्रीजरमध्ये तयार असतो. कांदा परतवायची 5-7 मिनिटे माझी सकाळची वाजतात, म्हणून मी कांदा कायम रेडी ठेवते परतवून. आणि भाज्या खराबही होत नाही. आठवड्याभराचा कांदा जर तुम्ही परतवून ठेवला तर काही होत नाही फ्रीजरमध्ये. वेगवेगळ्या डब्यांमध्ये घालून ठेवा, 4-5 दिवसाचे 4-5 डबे. आता याच्यामध्ये मी घालते सुकं खोबरं आणि कोथिंबिरीचं पेस्ट केलेली आहे मी. ही पण मी तयार ठेवते फ्रीजरमध्ये. 1 चमचा घालते मी इथे. सुकं खोबरं मी भाजून घेतलेलं होतं. आता 1 अर्धा ते पाऊण चमचा, छोटा चमचा हळद टाकूया आपण त्याच्यात. ही चटणी आहे, कोल्हापुरी मसाला किंवा चटणी, किंवा तुम्ही जे घरात जे रोज तिखट वापरता, चटणी वापरता, मसाला वापरता, तो टाका. तो टाकला की मी आता इथे गरम मसाला टाकणार नाहीये. त्या मिरचीला तेवढासा रंग नाहीये, म्हणून मी रंगासाठी काश्मीरी चिली टाकणार आहे. काश्मीरी पावडर मिरचीची. आपण एकदा हे चांगलं हलवून घेऊया. तुम्ही इथे बघू शकता की रस्सा चांगला आपला उकळतोय सोड्या बटाट्याचा. आता आपण गॅस इथे कमी करूया आणि एक झाकण लावून साधारण 1.5-2 मिनिटं थांबूया. बटाटा पण तसा शिजलेलाच आहे. एक वाफ देऊ द्या आणि रस्सा पण आपल्याला हवा आहे. आपल्याला सुकी भाजी नाही करायची. 2 मिनिटं झालेली आहेत झाकण लावून. झाकण उघडून एकदा मी बघून घेते. बघा रस्सा कसा मस्त झालेला आहे. कलर पण बघा किती छान आहे. कलरसाठीच मी खरं तर काश्मीरी चिली पावडर टाकलेली, काश्मीरी लाल तिखट. ह्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही कांदा लसूण मसाला सुद्धा टाकू शकता. मसाला तुमच्या आवडीप्रमाणे तुम्ही टाकू शकता. ही भाजी आपली रेडी झालेली आहे. मी फक्त बघते की बटाटा शिजलाय का. येस, बटाटा पण शिजलेला आहे. आता ही भाजी आपण काढून घेऊया. चमचमीत अशी सोडा बटाट्याची भाजी आता आपली तयार झालेली आहे. करायला झटपट थोडीशी तयारी घरी ठेवा म्हणजे जेवण अगदी फटाफट होतं. Today we are making bhindi, okra or ladyfinger, however you like to call it. The kids love it, they adore it when it is in the tiffins. And bhindi do pyaza is loved by all. Let us see today how to make a easy peasy style of bhindi do pyaza, easy and quick. So let us start. Sizzling hot bhindi is ready, so I have plated that out for you. And I am making bhindi do pyaza today. So I will just walk you through the ingredients. We have taken, of course, the main king of the recipe. This is bhindi or okra or ladyfinger, whatever you like to call it. I have taken 250 grams of okra, and this is the way I have cut it. I have just put a small slit so that whatever spices we put in the recipe, they are all nicely absorbed. So at most of the places I have just put these slits. You can cut the bhindi to your desire. The next ingredient, the main ingredient, is onion. So these are bulbs of onions which I have separated. Then I have already taken some pre-sauteed onion. In this case, what you can do is you can take fresh onions and saute them until they are brown. Now in my case, I always keep saute onion ready in my freezers because I make a lot of recipes and it is easy for me during the office rush time. In this, I have taken some caraway seeds. You can see it is here in this corner, and some cumin seeds and some hing or asafoetida. This is crush of ginger and garlic, very fine pieces. You can say it is almost minced. And then these are the dry spices in which I have taken red chili powder, coriander seed powder, cumin seed powder, some salt as to taste, garam masala, turmeric and amchur powder or dry mango powder. I have also taken one large tomato, as you can see, and this tomato I have kept it in the mixie jar because I am going to crush it. I have just made the paste of the tomato and we will keep it aside. Now we will start with the cooking process. For this I have taken a nice non-stick pan, a very thick bottom non-stick pan. At the moment I have just kept the flame a little high, and now what I will do is I will pour in some oil. This is about 1 tablespoon or so. We are not taking a lot of oil. Let us see. This is enough as of now. Goes the okra. Just check once again on the cutting way how it is cut. This is the size. I have kept about 1-inch pieces and I put a slit in between, just the way we put for masala bhindi. Before putting the bhindi, I'll just put the caraway seeds, cumin seeds and the hing right into the oil. Let it crackle for a second and then we will put the bhindi. Now in goes the bhindi or the okra, lady finger, however you call it. I will continuously stir this bhindi because we want to brown this bhindi. Also the oil proportion is okay. I am not going to add a lot of oil, but if you want you can add some more oil at this point. So this has to be cooked and this will take about 6 to 7 minutes. This bhindi is 250 grams, so depend upon the amount of bhindi you take, your time to saute it and brown it will be. It is about 4 minutes and this is the state of bhindi as of now, but it needs to fry a little more, so I will keep it for another 2 minutes. It is 7 minutes and now the bhindi is well done. So this is the way I have done the bhindi, and now what we will do is I will remove the bhindi and I will put in these onions so that these will also be sauteed. So in go the onion and I will saute it until it becomes a little cooked. We don't have to brown it thoroughly, and I have also kept the onions into bulbs because it is bhindi do pyaza. So pyaz is the main ingredient, it has to be seen. If you put everything in the gravy, the pyaz won't be seen, the onions won't be seen. That is these onions should take about 2-3 minutes or so. They've started to turn brown, but it needs to be completely browned. Onions are now done, and what I do is I just take it along with the bhindi. So I'll pull out all these onion bulbs which are done. I'll pull it out. Now we'll use the same pan for cooking. This is how the bhindis and the onions are looking so far, and now we will proceed to make the gravy for it. Now to make the gravy, what I'll do is I'll just pour in little oil, maybe half a spoon or so, not much. And into this I will add the pre-sauteed onions. Into this I will add the ginger garlic. Ginger garlic I have just taken about half small spoon, that's it. You don't need to overpower this particular recipe with too many ingredients and too many spices. The main core of the recipe should remain the pyaz and the bhindi. So let me saute this for a minute. As you see, the onions, ginger and garlic hasn't taken much time to get cooked. I always keep saute onion ready in my kitchen, in my freezer for the whole week. I usually do it in the weekend so that it is easy for me during the rush hours of office. Onions are nicely browned, completely browned, like it should be completely caramelized. and in goes the tomato paste. This is the raw tomato paste which I have just run it into the mixie. This is completely raw, so it is going to take some time to cook and it has a lot of water. So what I'll do is at this point I'll just put the lid. Otherwise, until so far I did not cover the recipe at all. Now this is the stage where the tomatoes have reached, but as you see there is still a lot of moisture content. This has to be evaporated. So we'll wait for 1 more minute until the water is completely evaporated and the masala which is there, it starts to cook up. This is after 2 minutes of cooking that the water from the tomatoes has completely evaporated, and you see that some of the masala has started leaving a little bit of oil. At this point, if you want to make it richer, you can add some more oil, but I think this is good enough for me. So I proceed with adding the masalas. The masalas are the same ones which I showed you. This is amchur powder, red chili powder, coriander seed powder, cumin seed powder, salt, garam masala and turmeric. Garam masala is homemade. You can use store-bought one or you can use whichever brand as per your liking. And salt you can adjust to your taste. So in goes all the masalas, and then I will just stir it so as to make a complete cooked gravy mix. The gravy mix is now completely done. It is dry and it is smelling beautiful here. I add half a cup of water or less at this point and allow this to cook a little just for a minute. I'll increase the flame for the gas at this point. The masala seems to be a little dry, so I'll add another just 10 ml of water, about like a big spoon of water, that's it. And into this what we will do is I will add all the bhindi and the onion. So the onion and the pyaz and the bhindis, everything will go into this gravy. Now at this point I will just lower the flame of the gas and mix everything completely. I'll cover it up and keep it for about 1 minute. It is about a minute. I'll just open and check what is the situation of the bhindi. Yes, I think it is done. At this point you need to remember, whenever you are stir frying bhindi for this particular recipe, the bhindi should remain the structure of it. It shouldn't get mashed. I'll just check one bhindi. Yes, it is completely done. You can see that. Now I will cover this and I will give it a standing time of about 10 minutes before serving. So let this cover be here completely closed, and I will turn off the gas and let it be here for 10 good minutes. So for making the aubergine potato sabzi, what I have taken is, I have taken oil, I have preheated the kadai, I have taken 1 big spoon of oil here. The oil is nice and hot, so I am adding some asafoetida, just a pinch or so, and that will be followed by finely chopped onions. Now I have chopped the onions into a chopper. So this is 1 large onion, very big onion, finely chopped. We need finely chopped onions for this recipe. Now fry the onions until they are a little brown. I will increase the flame here, and at this point I'll add some more oil. That's enough for the recipe now. Stir it until it becomes slightly brown. At this point I'm adding some salt so that the onion cooks very fast. Now by the time the onions are frying, we will just take a look at the vegetables. I have taken baby aubergine here, cut off the stalk, and I have just made a slit like this. And these are the potatoes. I have peeled them and I have cut into a size which is equal to the aubergine. But you need baby aubergines for this recipe. You see that the onions have started to get pink here. At this point I am adding in all the vegetable. This is 250 grams of aubergine and 250 grams of potato. So total it is 500 grams. stir it very well. Now I will add 6 cloves of garlic which is crushed. Now we will fry everything together. Now let the aubergines, potatoes, onions and garlic cook well together. I will cover it and keep for at least 2 minutes until the vegetables soften here. It is 2 minutes. Let us take a look at the vegetables. The vegetables haven't softened at all. Let us give it a quick stir and keep them for another 5 minutes. So the total softening time should be 7 minutes. I cover it again and let us take a look after 5 minutes. It is 5 minutes and I have already stirred the vegetables twice in between. We'll just open and check if the vegetables have softened. Yes, the aubergine looks to be softened a little, and the potatoes, yes, the potatoes is also softened now. Now we will start adding the spices for the vegetable. Half spoon of turmeric I will add at this point. Spoon of garam masala. Cumin seed powder and coriander seed powder. Cumin seed powder 1 spoon, coriander seed powder half spoon. Now these are black sesame seeds. They are flat black sesame seeds, not the regular sesame seeds. Of that, what I have done is, I have made a powder of that. This is the powder of black sesame seeds, of these seeds. So this 2 big spoons and Kashmiri red chili powder 2 big spoons. I am adding that into the sabzi. Tamarind paste 1 spoon. You can use fresh tamarind. Jaggery 1 spoon. Mix everything together. Salt 1 spoon. You can put salt to your taste. Now we will put 1 bowl of water, or you can put half a glass of water. Give it a nice mix. I will increase the flame of the gas here and allow it to come to a boil. You can see that the sabzi has come to a vigorous boil. At this point, I will reduce the flame to the minimum and cover the sabzi for 5 minutes. We will take a look after 5 minutes. It is 5 minutes. Let us open and check what is the situation here. Yes, the sabzi looks to be almost ready. It has developed a nice color. This is the gravy that I want. If you want more gravy, you can add a little more water. Let us check for the doneness of the vegetables. Yeah, they are completely done. Potato is also done. Good. I will turn off the flame now and we will serve. We will serve our sabzi now. So our steaming hot, nice, a different style of a potato aubergine sabzi is ready. Today we are going to take a look at a very easy potato finger chip sabzi, 15-minute recipe, quick to carry it for your office tiffin or your school tiffin. You can pack it into a sandwich or you can eat it with a roti. The choice is endless. Let us quickly start into the making of a potato finger chip easy simple sabzi. I'll be making a simple sabzi of potato, and I'll be starting with not the regular cumin and mustards. I'll be starting with something Nigella seeds, onion seeds, kalonji, whatever you call it. So the pan is already kept for heating. The oil is heating up. I've taken about a tablespoon of oil. You can take the oil as per your liking, and I am just adding some Nigella seeds, followed by some asphodel or hing. This is just a pinch of asphodel, and then what we do is, this is the potatoes which I have taken. These are raw potatoes and I have cut them into small finger chip like things. I have washed them thoroughly, drained them and removed all the excess water so they do not splutter in our pan. Anyway, Now we have to saute these potatoes until they are slightly crisp and brown. Of course, we don't have to make French fries of this. This is just a regular potato sabzi with some twist, my take on it, and that is why I will brown it. Oil, this is enough. We will just wait for the potatoes to be browned, and when they are getting brown, they will also be cooked. Here at this point, I will also add some salt so that the potatoes have some seasoning when they are getting cooked up. The potatoes are brown, as you can see. I did not cover it because if you cover it, then the potato chips, the shape, it is broken. So if you have good quality potatoes, freshly cut and completely dried, there is absolutely no need to cover it. Then I'll be adding garlic. This is about a tablespoon and a half, about 6 to 7 big cloves of garlic, because we are going to add very little spices. Whatever flavor will be coming is only from garlic, the herbs. So just wait until the garlic turns a little brown. Next we add all our spices. This is turmeric, about 1 small spoon. Yeah, this is the size of spoon that I have taken. Then it is followed by cumin seed powder. This is homemade cumin seed powder. Just roast the cumins and grind it. And then I'll put some chili powder. Now the heat will come only from the chili powder. So this is red Kashmiri chili powder, so it is not very hot and it will give a very nice color to the dish. And this is garam masala. This is just half a spoon. We do not want the overpowering flavor of garam masala. And now we are adding salt. So we are done with the adding of all the ingredients which is required. We will just stir this, and each and every potato should get the coating of all the spices. So just stir with a light hand so that every potato becomes of equal color. When the potatoes are coated well with masala, the sabzi is almost ready. All the potatoes are well coated with the masala. I'll just break one potato and check if the sabzi is well done. Yes, you can see that the potato has broken easily. So you take your time as per the type of potatoes you have. It will take the cooking time, but usually the sabzi is done under 15 minutes if your ingredients are ready, if your potato is cut. So at this point, I'll just cover it up for a minute so that it gets some steam, and then the sabzi is done. The potatoes, they have steamed up a little and it is ready. So we'll just garnish this with coriander leaves and we will serve it. The sabzi is ready. I'm just taking it out in the serving plate. This is done. Take every bit of it so you have all the spices which are there, which add flavor to your dish recipe. And then I have some coriander leaves. I garnish this sabzi with some coriander leaves.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स है और स्वागत है आपका डेलिकेट फ्लेवर्स विद पल्लवी इस चैनल में। आज हम वीडियो करेंगे हिंदी में। ये एक बेहतरीन वेजिटेरियन विंटर रेसिपी है जिसे हम बनाएंगे सूरती पापड़ी के साथ। सूरती पापड़ी तो आपको पता ही होगी, बहुत कम वक्त के लिए ये विंटर सीजन में अवेलेबल होती है और मुंबई में तो बहुत मुश्किल से मिलती है। हम इस्तेमाल करेंगे ये छोटे वाले बैंगन, जिसे कॉमनली बेबी ऑवर्जीन या बेबी ब्रिंजल भी कहा जाता है। और इस सब्जी का एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग बेस बनता है, जिसके लिए हम आगे जाके सामग्री देखेंगे। सबसे पहले हम लेंगे 2 बड़े चम्मच कसा हुआ नारियल। ये फ्रेश कोकोनट है, टेंडर कोकोनट। ये है कटी हुई फ्रेश गार्लिक, मतलब हरी वाली लहसुन, जो इस सीजन में अवेलेबल होती है। और ये है सादा लहसुन, क्योंकि वो जो लहसुन है वो शायद रेसिपी में पूरी नहीं पड़े, उसका स्वाद ठीक से नहीं आए, इसलिए मैंने ये वाली लहसुन भी ली है जो हम रेगुलरली घर में यूज करते हैं। फिर लिया है मैंने हरा धनिया, तिल, ये है जीरा और धनिए का पाउडर। हरी मिर्चें, ये बहुत तीखी नहीं है, मैंने 8-10 ली है। फिर लिया है हल्दी और अजवाइन या कैरेवे सीड्स बोलते हैं इसको इंग्लिश में। थोड़ी सी इमली, मैंने इमली का पेस्ट लिया है, ये इमली कॉन्सेंट्रेट है। और थोड़ा सा गुड़। नमक हम डालेंगे स्वाद अनुसार। सबसे पहले इधर मैंने कढ़ाई में 3 बड़े चम्मच तेल गरम करने को रख दिया है। उसमें सबसे पहले हम डालेंगे ये बैंगन। बैंगन को नरम होने के लिए हम थोड़ी देर उसको ढक देते हैं। मैं अभी इसको 2 मिनट के लिए ढक रही हूँ, बट मैं ढक्कन पूरी तरह से बंद नहीं कर रही हूँ। ढक्कन को थोड़ा मैंने खुला छोड़ा है। बैंगन हमने पकने रखे हैं। ये जो सामग्री है इसे हम मिक्सी जार में डाल के एक बढ़िया सी पेस्ट बना लेते हैं। हमारी सारी सामग्री इस जार में आ गई है। इसमें मैं डाल रही हूँ बिल्कुल थोड़ा सा पानी, बस कि ये मिक्सी अच्छे से घुल जाए और एकदम पेस्ट बन जाए। ये बन गई हमारी बढ़िया सी हरी पेस्ट, जिसको हम अपनी सब्जी में डालेंगे। अब देखते हैं कि बैंगन का क्या हाल है। यहाँ आप देख सकते हो बैंगन का रंग कितना खूबसूरत लग रहा है। बैंगन थोड़े से अब नरम हो गए हैं। अब हम इसमें डालेंगे अपने सूरती वाल। पापड़ी है, उसे हम यहाँ पे मुंबई में सूरती पापड़ी कहते हैं, सूरत में वालोर कहते हैं। अलग अलग जगह में अलग अलग नाम है। ये मैंने लिया है 250 ग्राम यानी कि पाव किलो, और बैंगन मैंने लिया है पाव किलो। सब्जी बनेगी आधे किलो की। दोनों सब्जियों को हम अच्छे से चला लेते हैं। ध्यान रखना है कि यहाँ पे बैंगन नहीं टूटे। अभी यहाँ मैं थोड़ा सा जो गैस का टेम्परेचर है, जो फ्लेम है, थोड़ा सा मैं बढ़ा रही हूँ और यहाँ पे डाल रही हूँ आधा चम्मच के लगभग नमक। अब यहाँ पे इन सब्जियों को हम लोग ढक लेते हैं पूरी तरह से, और जो गैस है वो पूरा धीमी कर लेते हैं। इसको देखते हैं हम 5 मिनट के बाद। सब्जी को रखिए अब 5 मिनट हो गए हैं। हम खोल के देख रहे हैं कि ये जो सूरती वाल है और बैंगन है पक रहे हैं कि नहीं। आप देख सकते हो कि इनकी रंग में तो बहुत फ़र्क आया है। अब इस पॉइंट पे हम डाल रहे हैं हरा मसाला। पे अभी हल्दी डालने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। हल्दी हमने इस पेस्ट में डाली है, तो डाल देते हैं ये पेस्ट। अब इसी मिक्सी जार में मैं डाल रही हूँ आधा कप के तकरीबन पानी। सही से बंद करके इसको घुमा लेंगे और इसी पानी को हम डालेंगे अपनी सब्जी में, ताकि कोई भी मसाला ज़ाया न जाए। अब 2 मिनट के लिए मैं आंच तेज कर देती हूँ। इसमें और कोई मसाले डालने की अभी ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि पेस्ट में हमने सारे मसाले डाले थे। अब इसे हम ढक कर रख देंगे तकरीबन 7 से 8 मिनट के लिए, और हमारी सब्जी तैयार हो जाएंगी। इसे एक उबाल आने के लिए हम लोग थोड़ी सी देर रुक जाते हैं। जैसे कि आप देख सकते हो सब्जी में उबाल आ गया है। इसमें मैं डाल रही हूँ आधा चम्मच और नमक आप अपने स्वाद अनुसार डालिए। मैं गैस को धीमा करके इसको अभी ढक्कन लगा के पकने के लिए छोड़ रही हूँ 7 से 8 मिनट के लिए। सब्जी को आंच पे रखे हुए अब हो गए हैं 8 मिनट और सब्जी अच्छे से तैयार है। आप देख सकते हो तेल भी छूट रहा है किनारों से, सिंग भी अच्छे से पक गई है, बैंगन भी अच्छे से पक गई है। हम ढक्कन को बंद कर देते हैं और गैस को भी बंद कर देते हैं। इसको रखते हैं बंद 5 मिनट के लिए और फिर इसको लेते हैं हम परोसने के लिए। 5 मिनट हमने जैसे कि सब्जी को ढक के रखा था, अभी हम इसे खोल रहे हैं और सुंदर सी हमारी टेस्टी सब्जी बन के रेडी है। हम इसे अब परोसेंगे। सूरती पापड़ी का सीजन नहीं है, यही सब्जी आप वालोर के साथ भी बना सकते हो, मगर सीजन की जो सब्जियां होती है उसका तो स्वाद ही बिल्कुल अलग है। लिलवा बैंगन या सूरती पापड़ी बैंगन की सब्जी बनके तैयार है। सब्जी तो बहुत अच्छी लग रही है, आप जरूर इसे ट्राई कीजिए। हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, खूब सारी लाइक्स दीजिए, भर भर के कमेंट्स दीजिए। जब तक हम मिलते हैं अगले एपिसोड में एक नई रेसिपी के साथ, तब तक के लिए बाय।
Today I am making Karela sabzi. Oh my, it has a love-hate relationship with so many, but I personally love it. Try and make the Karela what I am showing you today, and I am very sure you and all your family members are definitely going to love it. So let us see bite take with the Karela sabzi, which is a dry one. I am making Karela sabzi today. It will be a dry sabzi, and for this I have taken the Karela which I have sliced like this. It is done into thin slices. I have cleaned the Karela very properly and dried it. Sliced it like this thin slices as you can see, and I had put salt and this kokum This is kokum fruit, dried kokum fruit, commonly called as amsul in Marathi. This is a tangy fruit which is added to reduce the bitterness of this bitter gourd or karela. So I have taken off the water and then I have dried it on a kitchen napkin. So it is now ready to prepare. I have preheated a pan here into which I am adding about 2 spoons of oil. This recipe requires a little more portion of oil. So I am adding 2 spoonfuls of oil and adding this entire portion of karela. This is 250 grams of karela or bitter gourd. I'll put the gas to high so that the pan heats up and allow this karela to brown. The karela has started to brown. This is going to take a while. It will take at least 12 to 14 minutes. The bitter gourd has started to brown. It is going to take a while. Meanwhile, I will add these 2 onions and allow it to stir fry together. You can see I have added enough of onions. For 250 grams of karela, take 2 big onions. It looks that the vegetable is becoming dry and calling for some more oil. So at this point, I will put some oil, about 1 spoon or so. Allow this to saute for some time. While the karelas and the onions are nice and browning in the pan, we will just take a look at the quintessential Indian spices. So first is the chili powder. I have taken Kashmiri chili, 1 big spoon heaped. It's not spicy. Some asafoetida, some salt. Salt I have taken very little because I have already soaked the karela in some salt. Cumin seed powder, homemade cumin seed powder. You can use anything of your choice. Coriander seed powder, turmeric powder and some garam masala. Herbs are garlic. This is 6 cloves of garlic. I have chopped them finely. Some tamarind paste. You can take fresh tamarind too. This is jaggery which I have cut it into pieces, small pieces, and some fresh coriander. At this point I have added the garlic which I forgot to record. We have to brown the garlic too. So allow it to saute. And the onion, garlic and the karela has to brown for another 5 minutes or so. Mind well, do not burn the garlic. Most of the slices of karela seem to be evenly brown. At this point, I will add all the spices all together. So in go all the spices and stir fry until a even coat of spices is achieved on each and every slice of karela. Keep the gas to the minimum so that the spices do not burn because everything is dry at this moment. All the spices, all the masalas have coated in very well with the karela. You can see a uniform color and flavor is achieved. It's smelling beautiful. I'll add in the turmeric paste and the jaggery. Tamarind paste and the jaggery are 2 magic ingredients. This will complete the recipe. At this point, I am adding just 10 ml of oil just to give some moisture to the sabzi, and I will cover it up and let it allow to be here for about 2 minutes. Switch off the gas. You don't need the flame anymore. Give a standing time of about 5 to 7 minutes and the sabzi is ready. The sabzi is ready. As you can see, it is so tempting. It is absolutely dry. It is a delight for all the karela lovers out there. This is very dry. It can be served with any kind of roti preparation or any simple dal and rice. I'm sure this sabzi will spice up your meal. But this is very dry. So to accompany the lunch or the dinner fulfillments, what I have made is I have made a simple raita of curd, cucumber and tomato to go with it. Today we are going to make the quintessential lunch essential. Yes, the very famous aloo gobi with a small twist in my way, my style.
Let's start making aloo gobi my way, my style.
Piping hot, delicious looking aloo gobi sabzi is ready. For making aloo gobi, what I have taken is I have taken cauliflower and cut it into a little big size florets, and I have taken potatoes and I have cut it like this, peeled off the potatoes. Cauliflower I have taken 250 grams, potatoes I have taken 150 grams, so together it is 450 grams. The first step is blanching of the vegetables, so I have kept some water for boiling, into which I am going to add half a spoon of salt, and I am going to add all the vegetables and let them blanch for 5 minutes. Also I will cover it and keep it. So we will take a look at the vegetables after 5 minutes. It is 5 minutes that the vegetables are boiling. Let us just take a look. This is enough. I will turn off the flame here and drain off excess water and then start with the preparation of our sabzi. Now to start the recipe of aloo gobi, what I have taken is I have taken some oil, 2 big spoons of oil. The kadai is already preheated and I am putting in the vegetables, of which I have removed the excess water. Let us stir fry the vegetables until they develop a brown coating. You see here that the vegetables have started to develop a brown coat. We need them to be more brown. At this moment what I will do is I will also add 1 large onion very finely chopped and 2 slit green chilies. So they will all brown together. The onions have gotten brown. Now I will add ½ inch of ginger crushed finely, 6 cloves of garlic finely crushed. Give it a nice mix. Mix them until the raw flavors of the ginger and onion disappear. The ginger and garlic is cooked well. I am adding 1 big tomato very finely chopped. Mix this all well. I will cover it for 2 minutes until the tomatoes are done. It is 2 minutes and let us take a check on the sabzi. Yes, the tomatoes seem to be well cooked. Now here at this point we will start adding all our spices. First I am taking ½ a spoon of garam masala, 1 spoon of salt. You can take salt to your taste. ½ a spoon of turmeric powder, 2 spoons of Kashmiri red chili powder, 1 spoon of cumin powder, ½ a spoon of coriander powder. Now that we have added all our spices, we will give it a nice mix. The vegetables are already well cooked. Now here we will add in the last ingredient, which is ½ a cup of curd. I have just slightly beaten up the curd. Mix it nicely. At this point I will just add few crystals of sugar so as to balance the sourness of curd and the tomatoes in the vegetable, and we will stir it now until the curd cooks very well. Keep the flame on the low so as the curd will not split. Here at this point the curd is well cooked, the vegetables are also very nicely done. What I will do is I will add ½ a glass of water here. You can add water to your desire. Give it a quick stir. I will increase the flame here and allow it to come to a boil. Our sabzi here is come to a nice boil. I add the last ingredient, which is kasuri methi, and I will close the lid. Let the flame be at the lowest and we will cook for another 2 minutes. It is 2 minutes. Let us just take a look at the sabzi. Yes, it is nice and sizzling. I'll just give it a quick stir. Consistency of the sabzi here for me is enough. You can adjust the consistency to your choice. I'll turn off the flame here and give it a standing time of 10 minutes and then serve it. I will serve the sizzling hot sabzi now. Our steaming hot aloo gobi sabzi is ready.
What we are going to do today is a side dish of tomato which is loved by all, and if you have not ever made it, do try it. Along with the recipe, I am also going to show how you can make a full meal accompanied by this tomato side dish. So let us start without any further ado.
For making the Indian style saucy tomato side dish, I have taken 1 spoon of oil in a preheated pan. It has heated up, and now we will add nigella seeds and mustard seeds. Nigella seeds are nothing but onion seeds. In Hindi it is called as kalonji. So these we will put until they splutter. Also at this point we will put 2 pieces of dry red chili. We will just stir fry them a bit, and immediately we will add onion. This is very big, 1 onion. You can add 2 medium onions, finely chopped. Allow the onions to get brown. The onions have started to cook now. We have to wait for 3 to 4 minutes until they become slightly golden brown. We do not have to turn them dark brown. Here I will also add in a 1/4 spoon of salt so that the onion releases its moisture and gets cooked very quickly. Here the onions are turning pink. We don't want to make them further brown. Now we will add garlic. This is minced garlic, 1 spoon, about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic, and then just allow the garlic to lose its raw flavor. The garlic has nicely cooked, and in this now we will add some spices. I will lower the flame a little. Cumin seed powder, turmeric seed powder, and some asafoetida or hing. So this all goes inside. Next we will add some red chili powder. This is Kashmiri red chili powder, which is not hot. It will give a nice color and a nice flavor. So in goes 1 big spoon of this chili powder. Let it fry a little. Be careful so as not to burn the spices. And now we will add tomatoes. These are chopped tomatoes. I have chopped it in the food processor. You can finely chop it. These are 5 big tomatoes. So in go all the tomatoes. Thoroughly mix all the spices into the tomato. We will stir fry this, and all the tomatoes are mixed with the spices. Everything is blended properly. Now what we will do is, here for just 1 minute I will increase the flame of the gas, and I will put in jaggery. You can use sugar if you want, or this is optional if you don't like it. And this is pepper powder, 1 small spoon, very small spoon. So the jaggery will balance out the sourness, but if you like tangy things, then just avoid the jaggery. We will give it a mix. This has mixed thoroughly. It has started to develop a boil. I will simmer the flame and I will cover it. Now the tomatoes will take about 6 minutes to cook. So we will take a look after 6 minutes. We will just take a look at the tomatoes. It is 6 to 7 minutes by now that the tomatoes were cooking. Yes, they seem to have become nice and soft and mushy. What I will do here is, I will add some salt. Actually, I forgot to add salt. So I am adding salt as per my taste. You can just check the salt as per your taste. So our saucy, spicy tomatoes are ready, Indian style. It is good to go as a side dish. I will suggest you some serving options. Our spicy tomato side dish is ready, and this we will garnish it with just a little bit of coriander, and that's done. I will also suggest you serving options for this. I'm just suggesting an easy lunch or dinner option. These spicy saucy tomatoes you can serve with any kind of roti. I have served here with jawar roti, which is gluten free. You can serve it any roti or bread of your choice. I have taken some hard boiled eggs and just tossed them in some basic Indian spices. So this can be a complete meal option.
आज हम बनाएंगे स्पेशल दही वाले आलू, जिसके लिए पैन में मैंने डाला है तेल गरम होते ही हम उसमें डालेंगे जीरा और हींग। जीरा तड़कते चटकते ही हम उसमें डालेंगे जिंजर गार्लिक पेस्ट यानी कि अदरक लहसुन का पेस्ट और ढक लेंगे बिकॉज ये करेगा बहुत सारा शोर। और हमने आलू तो पहले से ही उबाल के रखे हैं। दही में हम डालेंगे थोड़ा सा आटा या मैदा जैसे आप देख सकते हो और फेंट लेंगे ताकि दही फटेगा नहीं। फिर हम तेल में डालेंगे थोड़ी सी हल्दी, अपना घर का रेगुलर मसाला और उसमें अच्छे से फ्राई कर लेंगे अपने उबले हुए आलू। और इन आलू में हम डालेंगे दही फेंटा हुआ, इसको अच्छे से मिला लेंगे, थोड़ी देर उबालेंगे और लास्ट में डालेंगे धनिया पत्ता। दही आलू की सब्जी रेडी है।
Today we will see a very easy, nutritious and a filling recipe of mushroom rice. The main ingredients of course is mushroom and rice, but it is a very integral recipe, a very filling one, absolutely delicious and easy to make. This you can pack it in your tiffin for lunch, for offices, schools, as well as you can make a easy dinner of it. The choice is yours. Let us start.
So first goes in the onion. You have to brown the onions. So these are onions which are sizzling in the pan. This is a thick bottom pan which I have taken, and what I'm making mushroom rice or mushroom pulao. A easy recipe, simple, on the go, quick. And I'll just walk you through the ingredients that we will require for this rice. So what I've taken is tomatoes, and then some cashew nuts and peas, and I've taken some mushrooms because it is a mushroom rice which we'll be making. And very simple spicing and very simple seasoning. So this is the ginger garlic paste, biryani masala, and some turmeric, and a bowl full of curd. As you see, onions are already kept there in the pan to sizzle. So the onions, we will brown the onions. As you see, the onions have started to brown, and in this we will be adding ginger garlic paste. This is about 1 spoon of ginger garlic paste. This is the store-bought paste which is going to splatter. And into this goes the tomatoes and the chilies. So the chili is the only source of spice for this recipe. Along with this, also I will add some salt just for the tomatoes to release the moisture. And this will be covered, and I will keep it until the tomatoes become nice and mushy. Now you see here these mushrooms. These mushrooms are browned and sauteed. Actually, we had a large batch of mushroom. That is the reason I have sauteed it and kept it in the freezer so that we can preserve it. As you know, the mushroom has a very poor shelf life. So this is what I'm using. And also what I'm using is green peas. These are fresh green peas, and this is a cashew. Now this cashew is a wet cashew, so it is available only in certain parts of the country during the certain seasons. So you can take normal cashews for that. Let me see if the tomatoes are done. Yeah, they are kind of done. And this is what goes in: 1 cup of peas and cashew nuts, and then followed by mushrooms. Mushrooms I have already sauteed. If you are using fresh mushrooms, what you do is you can put it along with the onions to saute. But at this point, I already have stir-fried mushrooms, so I'm using those. And saute all the vegetables just for 1 minute. Also the peas, I had pre-boiled it in the microwave about 3 minutes so that it doesn't get the raw flavor. So you can add the vegetables of your choice, whichever you feel will go with mushroom. Then into this we will add turmeric. So this is about half a spoon of turmeric, a small spoon of turmeric, and this is biryani masala. Now this is 1 spoon of biryani masala. I will add 50% at this point, and
This is the biryani masala which I am using. This is the Everest Shahi Biryani Masala. So I have taken 1 spoon of that just for flavoring. At this point, in goes all of curd. This is full fat curd, and this will be cooked along with the vegetables. You have to increase or decrease the flame of the gas just looking at how your food is going. So now I've just put the flame to high for a minute and I will saute this. Once this is sauteed, what remains is the last part to be added is the rice. Vegetables are going great until now, and at this point I will add rice. This is pre-soaked basmati long grain aged rice. This is 1.5 cup. Now I'll just show you the cup which I have used and the water measurement that will go with it. So this is the cup. As you see, this has marking of like 3/4 and half and quarter cup. So this is the cup which I have used for rice, and I have taken 1.5 cup of rice, for which I have taken 2.5 cup of water, and that water is kind of not boiled, but it is not lukewarm, so it is at high temperature. This is just done so that the rice cooks fast. So let this rice stir fry in all the masalas for a while. It will not become brown because of course the masala is having a lot of moisture at this point. So I will allow it to stir fry, and then finally we will add water and then wait to see how the rice turns out. The rice has coated well with all the masalas and all the flavors are incorporated into the rice. So at this point, the left out biryani masala, I will just add that, and to this I will add 2.5 cups of water. Now this water I have heated it in the microwave. This is 2.5 cups. It is enough for this proportion of rice in my experience. So I'll increase the flame here. Give it a boil, and at this point I add a complete portion of salt. Now salt you can add as per your taste. As you see, the rice has nicely started to boil, the water has started to boil, and at this point I have taken off all the green chilies added because I don't want the hotness portion to increase here. And at this point I will cover the rice, and it will take about 15 minutes or 17 minutes to be done. So we'll meet after 15 minutes. It's almost 14 to 15 minutes, and let us see what is the situation of the rice. It is nice and steaming hot. Yes, it is done. It is coming off from the edges. Yes, it is properly done. I will just show you with a grain. Look at this. Yes, so this is now done. But before the rice is served, do give a standing time of at least 20 minutes so that the flavors incorporate nicely and the flavors come out to the fullest. Let's make cluster bean sabzi. What? Oh no! Oh yes, the very own gawarichi bhaji or gawar phali ki sabzi. Yes, come along with me and make it my way, my style, and I'm very sure you're gonna love it. Cluster bean is not a vegetable of choice for so many people, but it is green, it is healthy. Let us make a good variation for this vegetable. For this, what we start obviously is cluster beans. I have taken 250 grams of cluster beans. We will see the ingredients which are required for making the cluster bean vegetable. This is sauteed onion. You can take fresh onion. This is dry coconut powder along with some coriander leaves. I have roasted the coconut here, dry coconut. This is some minced garlic, cumin seed powder, salt, Kashmiri red chili. You can take any chili of your choice, but you have to maintain the proportion in that case. This is half a spoon of garam masala and some turmeric. You can use oil of your choice, and I have taken about half a cup of lukewarm water. So first things first, I have already preheated a pan on slow flame, and I am pouring about 1 spoon of oil. This is enough because the cluster bean is only 250 grams. The oil must be heated up already. I'll just increase the flame for a minute. These cluster beans, I have cleaned it, washed them thoroughly and dried them completely. I will saute the cluster beans until they are nicely brown. This will take about 6 to 7 minutes. If you are using freshly cut onion, keep them for roasting along with the cluster beans in the same process. So onions and cluster beans both will be browned together. You see that the cluster beans have started to become brown. At this point I have added garlic. I have taken about 4 cloves of garlic. Now we will brown this garlic along with this cluster bean. I have just added 1 small spoon of oil, which is sufficient for this vegetable, as I prefer to cook everyday recipes in the minimum amount of oil possible. The garlic has started to turn brown too. At this point I take all the spices and all the ingredients all together and add them. Saute them all together until everything is mixed properly. I had taken pre-sauteed onions because I keep them in the freezer, so it is handy for me to do all my recipes. All the spices seem to have coated the cluster beans very well. At this point I am adding about 150 ml of warm water, lukewarm water. I'll give it a mix. Meanwhile, let me take a look at the cluster beans. It is about 7 minutes that the cluster beans has been cooking here. The water has reduced. I think the oil is enough. We need not add any oil. I will just check if the cluster bean is cooked. Yes, it has a cut very easily. So this is done. I will now turn off the gas. Give it a mix. Put the flame on high for just a minute. Allow this to come to a boil. Water is required just to cook the cluster beans. The water has started to get a boil. What I will do is, at this point I will cover this for 5 minutes and I will lower the gas to the minimum. Simple cluster bean sabzi is ready. It has very slight amount of gravy and it is best enjoyed with roti of any kind, or maybe you can also have it with dal and rice. Chutney is ready and I will be serving the sabzi and the chutney to make it a very humble combination for either lunch or dinner. I have served this very simple sabzi with some curd, the chutney which we made, some jawar roti which is a very good gluten-free roti option, and some parathas.